welcome to Vibe Tribe. And I'm so excited to see you all tonight. We have a fun night planned. And our theme tonight is the universal law of oneness. We are one. So a while back, about a month ago, I did a really fun, it was a series of all the 12 universal laws. And the first universal law is called the law of oneness. And it is spiritual, it is philosophical, and it just says that we are all interconnected. All of life, all of the universe. It is a fundamental principle in various religions, and it's very spiritual. And basically what it says is that we are all connected, and everything we do, everything we don't do, it responds and it connects to everyone. It is like a quantum wave. So I love the example of you take a pebble and you put it in water. You know, you're just tossing pebbles in the water and you see this ripple effect, right? And it affects, like on a boat, like say you're skiing on a boat and the boat has a wake, that wake affects the people that are trying to sunbathe on the raft, you know, way down the coast. And so this is how our life is. So there's 6 little distinctions that I want to cover with you guys about the law of oneness. So the first is this interconnectedness, okay? And what this basically means is that we're all connected. All beings, all energies, they're elements, and they are a piece of the unified whole. Essentially, you are one piece of this beautiful puzzle, and everyone is important. Everything fits together to create this like tapestry. And so one of the individual actions, thoughts, and feelings will affect all living creatures because everything is vibration, right? And so that vibration will continue and continue. So the second one is unity consciousness. And so the law of oneness encourages recognizing that we do not have separation. Okay, our consciousness promotes empathy, compassion, and understanding as we realize that harming one is like harming yourself. So if I go out and do harm to Peggy, it is essentially harming myself as well, because we are all connected and everything spreads out amongst the collective. Okay, so really important to think about that. And it's also a holistic perspective. So the law of oneness promotes a holistic view of the universe where everything is connected and dependent and interdependent on the whole. Okay, so in the last several years, many of us have grown in this consciousness and realized this. And so we want to work on ourselves, right? You want to work on you. So you're not only benefiting you, but you're benefiting everyone around you. So this applies to not only humans, but our universe, our ecosystems, our nature, and any type of relationship that we are creating, because we alone are responsible for what we're creating in front of us. Okay, so I was at a leadership seminar years ago, and it was like talking about your spouse, like say your husband and wife relationship, or mother-daughter, or all these individual relationships. And the speaker said, what percentage of that relationship are you responsible for? And most people were saying 50-50. Well, his answer was, no, you are 100% responsible, because we cannot be responsible for the way they respond to us. We can only be responsible for us and what we do. So there's 3 more distinctions here. One is spiritual teachings. So many spiritual traditions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, different types of New Age beliefs, but they all emphasize the law of oneness. And I'm going to say that the word New Age was actually made, it was developed to help you feel like you were not on the correct path, like you were kind of out there. And so that word, also like a conspiracy theorist, is just not really there to make you feel good about yourself and strong about your convictions. It's more like to put you down, but it's really truly what we're stepping into that many of us know about expanding our consciousness here. Another is psychological implications. So it is about inner peace with yourself, reduced conflict with others, and a sense of belonging. That's why this community is so powerful, and we missed it when we weren't together. So we want to transcend from ego to community. All right. And then that is going to help you foster a deeper connection with others and with yourself because you're doing that. Okay. So we want to stop and think and consider how our words and our actions affect those around us. And lastly is the environment. So an example with this is my son and I, when we go on hikes, we are always picking up trash. And I wear my backpack and he goes and puts the trash in my backpack. And do we like doing this? No, but it makes our park beautiful. Our mountain, like some people, they just leave Kleenex all over the mountain. But we want to make sure that we are keeping our mountain beautiful for others. So the law of oneness is just really, truly a way to live harmoniously because you're reminded constantly that we're all beings. Our environment is all part of us. It's a living, breathing environment that serves us, that gives us oxygen, that gives us food, that we work together. And the cool thing is our QT wave is what I always feel is that mycelium that is working through our community. Okay, just like the mycelium in the forest, our QT waves are the mycelium, the energetic foundation for all of us, for all of our interactions, and for our stewardship, our responsibility to the planet. So this has to also do with the GodSpark, because our vision, when we focus on our vision and our intention with this law of oneness in mind, our actions take a different step. So, or a different direction, a different path, because we have that intention of helping everyone. So when Cynthia worked at the labs with the particle accelerators, some of you may not have heard this, but when they were running a session, no human could be in the room because literally that human could say in their mind, I want to see that particle do a 360, and the particle would do the 360. So we have control over so many things that we don't even think about. So if that human, if that observer said to the particle, do a couple backflips and then zoom up the side of the accelerator, it would. So they had to leave the humans out of the room. So does that tell you that you have the ability to influence these particles? And when you think about it, everything is particles. And that's why the law of attraction works, because you have more power than you know. And so what else can you influence? If you can influence particles, and we're all made of particles, then it starts with you. So when I used to lead meditation classes years ago, I would always say, inhale, love, joy, peace, health, happiness, and prosperity, and feel it coming into every pore in your body. And then you exhale stress, doubt, worry, fear, anger, and frustration. You want to raise your individual vibration, because your vibration is going to affect everyone around you. And you won't even realize it, and they won't even realize it, but it's one of the laws of the universe, and it has to happen, whether you believe it or realize it or not. And I know that you've walked into a room before and you felt the thickness, right? Maybe there's tension or an argument or a heated discussion. And you walk in and you go, uh-oh, and you just want to walk right out because that vibration affects others. Even some Chinese scientists, maybe 5 years ago, what they did was they were in a lab and they had a dish with a bunch of particles, and they flicked a particle to change the vibration, and it sped up. So the other particles with it sped up alongside. Then what they did was they took those particles, they took that one, or they picked one and they put it out into space, changed the vibration of that particle in space, And literally all the ones still on earth changed as well, because we are connected. Once together, never separated. Is that beautiful? I hope you feel that. So how can we apply this and start living this way today with a real top of mind about law of oneness? So here's a quick story. This anthropologist proposed a game to these kids in an African tribe, these children, and he placed a basket of fruits 100 meters away near a tree. And he said whoever reached first would get all the fruit in the basket. And when he said, ready, set, go, these children, they held each other's hands and they ran together towards the tree. And they started eating all the fruit. And the anthropologist said, why did you do this? And they said, Ubuntu. How can one be happy when all the others are sad? And Ubuntu means I am because we are. So the goal today with me telling you this story is looking how you can create a community or this interconnectedness in your area. All right, we're here to create this new future that we're stepping into. And so you want to work on yourself first. How can you be more connected in your community? How can you show support, have better empathy, and create this philosophy for people you know and help people make their lives better? So I have just 7 little tips for you, okay? So one is to create an inclusive environment where everyone feels valued and respected, regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, gender, whatever. So where everyone feels that they can be a part of it. And I feel like we have done that here with QHS, being that we're an international company, non-denominational, we just have the frequency of love. Number 2 is creating empathy and compassion. So being an active listener. Why did God give us 2 ears and 1 mouth? So we listen more than we talk. We want to support others and lift them up. Now, remember, you can't push anybody up a rope. They have to want to be assisted, but it's also creating that desire within. Next is emphasize collaboration over competition. There's no competition here in the law of oneness, which is our natural universal law. So whether people want to believe this or not, but it's really about helping everyone at large. And Cynthia, I have to say, is so good about that. She cares about every single one of us. And another is collective responsibility. What one thing can you do every day to help someone, to make someone's life better? Maybe it's just a smile. Maybe you're at the grocery store and somebody has had a horrible day and your smile is the best thing that they have seen all day. Another is practicing forgiveness and reconciliation. So what we want to do is know that forgiveness is super important, because usually a friend told me that when you point your finger at someone, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you. Okay? So remember that we don't want to pick a peck or a speck out of someone's eye until we remove the plank out of our own. So reconcile with yourself and with others and celebrate diversity. So when I started helping out with Mac, some people are like, well, I don't have those skills and I can't do that. And, they were feeling less than. But here's the thing is each and every one of you is an important piece of our puzzle. And so everybody was born with certain gifts and talents and passions. And so everybody is equally as important. And if somebody there's a great book I read years ago called Strength Finders. And instead of trying to be good at everything, find what you're really good at and be really great at it. Okay. And then go and hire somebody else to do the stuff that you don't want to do, or find somebody that, a partnership situation. And lastly, promote this type of education, because so many people are stuck in a straight line path, right? They are only going one way. Everything's black or white, really. But see, that's duality. We are coming into a world that doesn't have this duality. It just has love, joy, peace, health, happiness, and prosperity. And so if you take these principles and apply them in your community to people that you know, like, and trust, then you're going to expand. So today goodness, it was on one of our meetings. Maybe it was Wow, You Can Cook or Mac. I can't remember. But I feel like, so you see those pictures of a domino and they're shaped in a pyramid. So 1 and then 2 and then 3, and you flick the 1 and then it just goes and grows. Well, we are that one light. Okay. Think of yourself as that one lead domino, that one light. And as you flick it, all the lights up around you. So I hope that is fun for you, that you can really just chew on that and make your community better, because it starts with you.